very much for inviting me to speak to you today from around the world. And I'm very proud that through Lars, we have created a relationship which I call Let's Be Friends. So thank you again for inviting me. My name is David Velde, and we have been working for 6 years in the Dr. Phillips Rotary Club in Orlando on a project that now we call it the Magic of Rotary. It's a peace program that includes bullying because a lot of harm is being done to young children and even grown-ups that have to deal with bullying problems. Next. We worked with a small school in Central Florida called the Leesburg High School. It is a poor school because in Leesburg is a very poor city. So the school is depending on financing from the state of Florida to pay the teachers, etc. I live just outside Leesburg in a community called The Villages, where we have all golf carts to drive around and play golf, but also go to the doctor, etc. Big retirement, maybe the largest retirement community in the world, but we are next to this Leesburg school, and I got acquainted with the principal of that school, who told me about the bullying program or problems he had. And we have worked on that since 2018, to come up with some answers. So the picture on top you see is a yellow jacket. To me, it's more an orange jacket, but they call it a yellow jacket, which is the logo for the school. Next. Leesburg, as you can see on the left side, is in Central Florida. And we're going to talk later on about rockets going to the moon. You see Cape Canaveral to the right is 140 kilometers. So living north of Leesburg, when we know that a rocket is going to go up, we go outside and we see the rocket go in the sky and disappear on us. So we're very close to Cape Canaveral, which I would say it's the main launching site in the world for many, many rockets. It's about a rocket every 2 days. Next. So here we talk about stop bullying. We discussed what was bullying before, bullying meaning student to student, but also quite often families against families or adults. We, for example, found out that I'm on the board of directors from our local hospital where we had bullying among the nurses. So we had to come up with programs for the nurses to stop that bullying. It is so harmful. So we spoke to the principal of the high school, Mr. Randolph, and he welcomed our efforts, which were based not on an educational answer, but on a business answer. And with answer, I mean to say a program. As a businessman, I felt that we have to look as with competition in the business world. And how do you want to grow? You grow by taking a part of your competitor away so your company can grow. We call that market share. So when the students come to school in August after the summer vacation, they come in August, the bullies, the bad kids, the bullies, we don't call them bad kids, that's not right, but let's say the kids that are bullies then have 100% of the kids that come to school to pick on. They can pick on any one of the kids they want. So they have 100% market share. So my approach was, how do we reduce the market share so there are less kids to pick on? And that became a program that became very successful. And that program really has two two roads, two ways of doing it. One is to get the students involved, and as a Rotarian, I've been in Rotary for over 51 years. As a Rotarian, we had to come up with a business plan through our Rotary Interact Club in the school. We then made a joint venture with another club to get a lot of kids involved and said, let's take away market share from the bullies. We do not care what the bullies do, what they look like, or what they want. We don't deal with the bullies. We only will deal with the good kids. And they are usually in these clubs. So the two clubs, which one was called Skills USA, and the other one is Interact, Rotary. We then approached the issue of bullying from a marketing point of view. So we said for those students who will come to the meetings, will understand bullying, see the bad things that happen with bullying, that they will all wear a white button on their backpack. All the kids here go to school with backpacks, with the books and their computer in the backpack. Students like to express their feelings and their interest by stickers on the computers, by buttons on their backpack. And here is, for example, a couple of students making buttons. So the students started to make buttons on the backpack, and every month they came out with a new button on the backpack. They all were designed by the students themselves. Even the principal got involved with us because we needed his support. And as you see, he is making buttons as well. This is what I call a backpack and wristbands that we made ourselves. The students really made them. And you can see that they have all kind of buttons and on the backpack. And every month a new button. You see the next to the young girl, all different buttons, every month a new button. So what happened is that the bullies saw that these kids with buttons were going to inform the leadership of the school, the principal, saying, so-and-so is bullying, and then that person would be called in. For the bullies, they saw that all these kids with the buttons on their backpack were anti-bullying. They were not afraid anymore. They were going to stand up and report the bullies. The more buttons we saw, the less market share there is for the bullies. After we did this for 6 months, we really had some good, interesting results. By the way, another way of getting the kids to get involved was signing banners. This banner is in the cafeteria, where if you sign the banner, then you agree not to bully in school. And so again, the bullies saw all the action. Here it's in a market, in a shopping center, collecting signatures from adults, from people. So it was Pledge Against Bullying, join the movement. The result was that the children who didn't want to go to school because they were bullied suddenly felt safe in school. And so we brought up the attendance in the school from 88% of the kids that should be in school, 88% was in school, 12% was not in school, wouldn't show up. And that is a major important issue for the schools because the state is paying the school by every child coming to school every day. So by going from 88% to 92%, the school then collected a lot more money than they did before. But children are children, and so we had to come up with an idea. How do we attract these kids to come to us and are willing to take the pledge not to bully and get involved in the program? I was a part owner of an aerospace company at one time, and we inspected rockets. And so there I had many contacts with NASA. And I said, I want a chip to go on board of a rocket to go to the moon and then send pictures of all the children to the moon as a thank you to the kids, that you and your family and your friend, your parents, they all can go to the moon and will be there forever. Doing that, I said we might as well make it a Rotary program, and we have a flag. The blue flag that you see has the picture of the president of Rotary at that time, Barry Risen, and a bunch of uh, governors from Florida. They all went as a flag to Mount Everest with a total of 50 flags. But anyway, this flag flew on top of Mount Everest, which is the highest spot in the world. Here is our, oh, it's gone. This is Tommy. This is Tommy. He is a Sherpa, and he climbed Mount Everest for us and flew the Rotary flag on top of Mount Everest. Then from there on, we wanted to see the flag more at other unique places. So my cousin, Cornelis van der Velde, here he is, was the ship's doctor on a Russian exploring ship. So for one time, he made a trip on that ship to Antarctica, the South Pole, and you can see the flag of this flag from the school flying or hanging on the tombstone of a famous, what do we call him, Ernest Shackleton, who is buried there. He was a famous discoverer of the South Pole. So the flag was at the South Pole, Antarctica, as well as on Mount Everest. And actually, it flag from there on went to many different spots around the world. And this is the principal, Mr. Randolph. And you can see on the blackboard that this year, he saw 88% of the students came to school. And towards the end of the school year, 92% of the students came to school. So it was a better learning environment, etc. Now, this slide here shows you that the graduation rate is the rate of students that come to school on day one, high school, and then graduate from the high school. That used to be for many, many years around 65 to 67%. When the first year our program was working, the graduation rate went to 85%. That is 18% more kids graduated from high school and therefore have a better living, a better life. That is a remarkable amount of kids that did not walk away because they were afraid to go to school, bullying, etc., fights, but it became a safer school. These numbers became a culture in the school. It was okay not to bully. It was in to be a part of this anti-bullying program. And so even now, it's 5 years ago, the culture that we created in 1968, or 2000, I made a mistake. In 2018, 2019, that culture is still strong in the school and has continued for 5 years. So this is a success story that we can measure. We can say, how successful is your peace program, which is anti-bullying? How successful is it? These are the statistics showing you how successful it was. Here you see pictures around the world. Utah Beach on the left side, that's the Second World War. You see a wooden shoe, that was Amsterdam. Machu Picchu is in the middle. That's where the flags have flown, so that Leesburg High School can say that their name and their flag has been more in different places around the world and on the moon than any other high school in the world. So here are the kids. This is one class with an astronaut student in the middle to get together and do their bullying projects, anti-bullying projects. This is the chip, Rotary on the Moon. Man has set a foot on the moon, and that's the only place beyond Earth where man has been and where we have peace. We have no borders, we have no fights, we have no laws. It's just peace. And that's why we have chosen the moon to put all the clubs from around the world together and in a united, strong voice can say, peace on earth. Here you see how the two clubs together must have been 60 or 70 kids all together are organizing the peace on earth and a big banner to tell the world. The banner is hanging in the hallway in the school, so every morning when the kids come to work, they all are reminded on peace on earth. Next. And that's my picture. Many people ask me what the future is going to happen. I do not know. I have to look in a crystal ball, what we call. Uh, my colleagues on the right side, all in the blue shirts, we do different programs, and here we're all together again for Peace on Earth programs. Next. This is the flag from the Stop Bullying flag, and it says, I make this pledge. I will not bully. I will make this pledge from the universe. My name will be among the stars. My mind accepts the responsibility to defend those in need. Leesburg High School Interact students. And that was in the start of the programs. So on the moon, we have many different cities. We call the city Space City, but then we have suburbs like Järfälla is to Stockholm. We have Luna City, where everybody has business and hospital and schools, etc. And then we have also suburbs, which we call Rotary City and Peace City, etc. So we had to slow down during the coronavirus. Obviously, for 2 weeks we couldn't do anything, but we came back and started all over again. And now this year we'll be back at the Leesburg High School with the same program for the new kids. And this is an invitation that went out in May to clubs, 1,000 clubs around the world. But because of the spam problems, we found out that most of the invitations did not reach the Rotary clubs around the world. So next week we will do another 1,000 invitations, and this time with better club names, and be going through a company to do it for us, because the Peace on Earth message has to go around the world. We have 35,000 clubs. We like to unite as many as we can on the moon to together say in a strong voice, peace on earth, and do that through anti-bullying. And here you see yourself. This is your picture that is going to the moon, obviously. And it is on our website, and it is a very nice picture. We are very proud to have you with us. We have here, you see several of the pictures of clubs that are participating. You see on the right side, Buffalo, New York. You see on the left side bottom it says Balaju, and that is Nepal. We see Raila involved. In the middle picture is Sarasota, where our Zone 33 Rotary Public Image Coordinator is a member, and she is going to put it on the Zone 33, 34 newsletter as well, our story. So we're starting to get traction. This is the launch that we did last January. On the right side, you see the spacecraft. And unfortunately, when the spacecraft was finally in space, we had a leak and lost the fuel it needed for a soft landing in the Pacific, or a soft landing on the moon, but it ended up falling in the Pacific Ocean because it lost all its fuel and could not make a soft landing on the moon. But we have other rockets coming up next year. This is the chip again. It says launching 2024. We did it in 2024, but we didn't make it. So the same chip is now going to go next year to the moon, as well as twice around the world on another second flight, and we can talk about that later. Next. And this is for you, Lars Erik.
Yes. So today we launch a new chapter. Our project Rotary on the Moon has become Peaceful Universe, and we have come together more than ever, our Rotary clubs, Järfälla Rotary Club and Rotary Club of Dr. Phillips. So we wanted to highlight the start of Leesburg project as an anti-bullying campaign and expand our project with topics. All training programs on our website are based on Rotary International courses. We want to make it easy for you to take part in those courses and get a good overview of what RI has to offer. So here are our main topics. Still the Moon, meet the team role, Rotary's role as Rotary's role as a peace builder, human rights and DEI. So if you scroll down our webpage, you see this page, and look what it's all about. And of course, we have an education program as well. And this is example of what we plan to do in Swedish to begin with. But if someone asks us to do it in English, we of course can provide that as well. So we start our education program in a couple of months, Irene and I. So as they said, the next launch to the Moon is planned to be in mid-2025. So we'll be back with more information as soon as possible. So thank you for listening.